Hello everybody, and welcome to another game of the league. My name is Fofox, and I'll be your commentator on this lovely, slightly rainy afternoon. This looks to be a fairly interesting matchup, actually, so let's hop in and see what's going on. Loud burst of sound as we come in, as always happens. A little bit of initiation on bottom. Oh, and in comes Nocturne, turning that quickly into a 3v2, but they're not going to be able to do anything about it. Nocturne coming in a little bit later than he probably would have wanted to. Oh, and Zyra is on bottom. Zyra hanging around over in the corner here, just waiting. Having them push this into the tower, it might not actually go over well. Blue is pinging that bush. They know she is there. There are pings now to get out. Mumu is close. Zyra's got herself in a little bit of a conundrum if she doesn't get herself out of here. Leaving behind a nice ward to be stepped on. Ooh, nice snag. Knowing that Morgana is there, trapping her in place. Scaring her out of the way. That's good. Gold looks to be pretty even as top decides to beat the crap out of each other. 9.9 for blue to 10.2 for purple, so very close so far. Kind of an interesting matchup we have going here. We have a Graves on bottom with a Taric versus an Ezreal Soraka. So kind of a mix for blue team in a farm lane slash... Oh, and a nice grab. As I was saying, a farm lane slash aggressive lane against a full aggressive lane that is Graves Taric. So Taric, Graves though rather, having to watch himself. I like that about Zyra. Zyra was one of those champions that since she just came out, number one, she's the new champion, so everybody wants to play her, but her plants are interesting in the way that they work. Once you form a plant, the plant requires 3 hits to be able to kill it. It's not like it has a set amount of health. It is essentially, if I understand correctly, a ward. But we'll try to catch one and we'll verify that. We'll see. Yeah, see, there it is. You could see the ward buff, the ward health system right there. 3. It essentially has a set amount of health. That's good. Ping's going down for purple team. Probably to have Morgana, or not Morgana, Zyra, rather, come over and pick up blue, which would be good against her. Morgana, not 100% sure where she went. She can probably assume Zyra went over to pick up blue, but one can never know. Rumble and Mr. Wukong trading a fair amount here. Rumble actually is going to be under the shop here pretty soon. Riot has stated that since they buffed him in the Jace patch, which was essentially just making it so that his Flame Spitter worked correctly, that he suddenly has like an all-the-time Fiddlesticks ultimate. Like, he Crowstorms, essentially, with that thing. So, it does a ton of damage. Nice pickup there for Mumu and Wukong. Well done. Ezreal kind of finding himself in the middle of between a rock and a hard place. Pun definitely intended. And if you're not laughing at that rock pun, that's a sad face. Maybe not. So, 5-2 now for blue team. Giving themselves up. They're about 800 gold up now. But mostly that's just from the kills, to be honest. Farm-wise, purple team actually looking to be a little bit ahead. 61 CS for Ezreal and 78 for Graves, so he's keeping himself a little bit higher. Ezreal though, man, this Ezreal kept putting himself out of position there, right in front of the minions. Waiting for an easy combo from Taric and Graves. He's got to be careful. Soraka can heal him through a lot, but if he does that at the wrong time, he will end up with 0 sustain on his side. approximately a 20-second cooldown on Soraka's heal, so he's got to be careful when he does that. Mid still poking back and forth. Morgana's an exceptionally hard one to push out of lane. Oh, and here comes the burst. Oh! Unfortunately, missing Taric. That would have cleaved through him. He'd have been forced to back on that one, but I don't believe he's going to have to back now. Sitting at about 300 health, but he is at no mana. He might as well go back. He's essentially just a meat shield at the moment. Lots of pings for purple team going down on Morgana. She is caught. Oh, she is caught in a bad spot. Getting herself caught between Rumble and Zyra and Nocturne, and it's just not good. Managing to escape though. The Black Shield preventing any slows from hitting her or stuns. Wukong though taking a little more damage than he probably would have wanted there though. And Ezreal bringing Graves really, really dang low. Yeah, Rumble's gonna get looked at here pretty soon. I don't know what to think. I mean, I agree. I think he does a little bit too much damage now that his Q hits all the time. Flame Spitter now has better... It has better animations. Or not animations, rather. It has better computing behind it. So instead of being like a random chance to hit, it hits all the time as long as they're in front of you. But it made it so he has a permanent Crow Storm. So it's... He's going to get hit a little bit. Riot has stated, though, that he will be stronger than he was before the nerf. So, that puts Rumble in a good spot. Because he was good beforehand. He was a tough one to use, but he was good. And now that he's more consistent, and they're just going to bring him up to where he's close and a little bit better than he was prior, yeah, that's a good spot for him. No disagreements there. Take a look at item builds here. Wukong sitting with 3 Doran's Blades. Where Rumble is doing his typical build. My god, so much going off down here. They cannot kill this Soraka. Great dodging on her part. But will the Ezreal ultimate? No, he doesn't have it up. Cooldown. Lots of pings going down on bottom. I think he's trying to get Taric out of that lane. Taric is a little bit low. That is easy burst territory right there for Ezreal. Nocturne sitting right next to Amumu, but Amumu doesn't know that he can see him. Purple team pinging Amumu. Amumu is stuck between the entirety of purple team. He has got to be careful. Oh, and the Ezreal ultimate cleaving through Taric and Graves, forcing both of them to flash out. Zyra now coming down, but totally missing that bud. Wow, Taric and Graves got out of that one just in time. Mixer Blue, though, up top, telling him to take down the turret. Wukong obliging, probably pretty happily. Doing a little bit of damage to it, not too much. Rumble's going to come in. But between the two, between the lifesteal that's sitting on Wukong and the spell vamp that's sitting on Rumble, they're probably about the same wise for health. Graves versus Ezreal. Graves is now slowed in attack speed. He needs to get himself out of there. There we go. Things for purple going down. They know where Amumu is, but that Oracle's on Nocturne is proving to be a problem. He is ward sweeping the entire jungle. They're not going to have any vision of this place. Oh, and a nice grab by Zyra. Nocturne dives in, but oh, he gets hooked under the turret. my gosh, dropping incredibly low. Dang. Blue team now gaining about 1,000 gold on purple team. Mostly though, it's spread. There's no gold within one specific area on either team, to be honest. No one is hoarding a certain amount of kills. No one is really that far ahead of anyone else, farm-wise. Very, very even game so far. And we're sitting about 18 minutes in. Usually someone is down at least part of the turret by now. But most teams really, they've chunked away at it, but it's not like they've lost a huge amount. I mean, bottom's turret's not even half health. Oh, and Ezreal might actually fall to this one. Not quite, though. Exhaust goes down on Graves. Graves just dealing way too much damage for Ezreal. But a Mumu coming in and dealing a ton of damage. Double kill. Nice job of Mumu. Oh, and a blue, a top has randomly appeared. A wild top appears. That gives Wukong free reign to push top. And that will be the first turret of the game. Well done. Well done on Wukong's part. Capitalizing on that. Oh! That burst! Zyra actually does a fair amount of damage. She's extremely new though. So her ratios are, whether they're on tune or off tune, you can't really say. Quite a few people trying to play Zyra though, and I honestly haven't seen one that I've really been all that thrilled with. Purchased her myself, felt like she did a good amount of damage, a lot of burst, good burst potential, but she's Heimerdinger-esque, so she has almost the same weaknesses without the same strengths. She's got a little bit more crowd control than Heimer does, with her root in place and her knockup, but at the same time, she doesn't have that huge range that Heimerdinger does, so. Her turrets do more damage, though. That's a plus. Soraka actually picking up a ward here for herself. Or not a ward, an oracles, rather. So that she can do the ward sweeping. She's got to try to keep the wards under control because Nocturne just shut them down from wards early. Nocturne, I actually don't believe has them. Yeah, he still does. He still has his oracles. So both teams now are going to be lacking in the ward department. No, look at that. That takes my previous assumption out. Turrets actually do have a set amount of health. Okay, let's see here. One. Oh, and a nice engagement. Blue team just rocking the house coming into that one, dealing a massive amount of damage, and oh, the oracles falls on Nocturne. That's a pretty big hit for purple team. Leading them to have a 10, blue team now leading with a 10-4 difference in kills, 27.4 to 24.6. They're starting to gain a little bit. 3,000 gold, a little over 10% difference. That can make a difference in a team fight. Long distance stun going off on Ezreal. Morgana, as usual, spell vamping her way back to victory. Oh, and the engagement comes in, but they do not see that he is around. Oh, nice job from Amumu, grabbing and latching on. And Graves makes no attempt to escape that one. Fate equals sealed. He accepted it. Still on top here. We appear to have a pretty big difference now between Rumble and Wukong. Wukong building himself a phage as well as his boots. And 3 Doran's blades. Got a fair amount of health and a fair amount of damage. Ah, okay. And he's going into the Hex Drinker. Whereas Rumble is just... He has his Hextech Revolver, but he's just starting to build out his Rylai's Crystal Scepter as well as finishing off that Woda. We'll see if he's able to do that before Wukong builds what appears to be a Frozen Mallet. Pings from blue team going down. They know Zyra's there. But Zyra not going to be able to do much to this one. She is actually going to be caught in a 3v1. Taken down quickly. That true damage coming out of that ultimate is a fair amount. Oh, and Graves now caught out of position. Nice dodge, though. But he's running the wrong direction. He's running away from everyone, but that essentially is into the entire team. And he's twice now he's juked at Amumu. Give him credit for juking. Definitely didn't get caught by Amumu, but that Ezreal ult tore right through him. It had nothing to hit before it nailed him. Soraka finding a wild ward in the bush. And a wild ward appears. What are you going to do about it? $14 to 4, 13.9 to 27,000. Blue team now taking a pretty commanding lead over this game. But it's not just like it's one person, to be honest. It is most of the team. I mean, Zyra has 4 deaths, Rumble has 3 deaths, Graves has 4 deaths. Nocturne only has 1, which is where he lost his oracles, and Taric has 2. Taric finding himself out of a position, and an AP Amumu just tears through him. AP Amumu doing way more damage than even Zyra is capable of at the moment. Forcing a flash, and that goes cleaving through the entire team, almost killing Taric. Taric surviving by the skin on his teeth. Yes, there's now skin on your teeth. It's a rather disturbing sentiment. Purple team becoming a little under-leveled compared. I mean, if we take a look at it, Wukong is 16 now. Whereas the Rumble is only 15, and that's like the highest level that you can find around here. We've got 16 on her and 14 only on Zyra, so gaining a level difference. Blue team has a gold difference. They're starting to take a fairly commanding lead at 25 minutes. No hit towards Baron though. A blue team ward on Baron, but no hit otherwise. No team really setting up pings for blue team and for purple to go down and take dragon. Doing that pretty nicely. That's going to be a very free dragon for blue team. Purple team can't. Oh, can't capitalize that. Oh, and Zyra getting herself friggin' caught out. Oh. Nice amount of true damage dealt, but that's more of just a, like a last ditch attempt to kill something. This leaves Zyra's team at a 4v5 for a little bit. If they wanted to capitalize and go for Baron, blue team definitely could. Nocturne, everyone is squishy except Rumble. Rumble has a little bit of health at least under him. No resistances though. He's got a smidgen of armor, that's it. Rumble getting caught out. See, half his health. Even as the tankiest person, he lost half his health to that little scenario right there. Zyra is back up though, so at least now it's a 5v5. They have even numbers. No one making a move towards Baron yet though. Baron, kind of that ultimate end game thing. It really brings your team up and differentiates them from the other team, especially in even games. The person who gets Baron in those even games, that is where the tables turn. So, it's not like purple team is completely out of this. They're about 9,000 gold behind. Their items say otherwise, though. I mean, Graves at least has Infinity Edge. Zyra has her Death Cap. Rumble has his Rylai's. So, most individual major items have been built. And it's the same on the other side. I mean, Ezreal only has his IE. There's a Zhonya's Hourglass on Morgana. So they only have individual items built. This is a stalemate, though. Sitting at this tower. Blue team will win stalemates, though, sitting at a tower. Soraka will be the cause of that. Most poke is able to be stopped by Soraka, especially for those sustained poke sessions. Zyra planting a bunch of buds around. I'm not gonna waste them though, but she pops her buds under the tower, but no use there. Purple team now making a move over to Baron, probably to ward it. I mean, it's honestly looking like Baron is the ultimate prize here. Everyone's congregating around it, but whether or not they're able to capitalize on this is the big question. Things from purple team. There we go. Blue team hanging around it. Purple team all backed. And there is a ward to give away where they are. So they know the entire team is congregated around Baron. But they don't know if they're doing it yet. That's why everyone's gathering. Graves, though, causing them to... Oh, no. This is causing blue team to take advantage of this. Graves way the hell out of position on bottom lane. Just sitting down there. Wow, a nice amount of burst damage, though, coming out of the team. Preventing that Baron. Graves just almost cost them that one. He has got to be with the team. He is the AD carry. And late game, those carries, a carry is the main source of damage late game. Consistent damage. Whether you're attacking a tank at the front line, or you're attacking a squishy at the back because you can reach them safely. The point of a carry is to be safe and output reliable damage throughout the course of a team fight. And without Graves there, they lack a lot of that. They lack all of it. It was very well played on purple team's part, though, stopping that Baron. A lot of damage output, forcing blue team to get themselves out. Graves has to be careful, though, because there we go. He has got himself... Oh, he got himself knocked up and flashed out. Nicely played. And the root from Zyra will cause them to have to disengage. A lot of poking going on. So close to catching people out. But unfortunately for them, Wukong has used his ultimate. Purple team now down one ult and a major source of crowd control. Oh, Zyra getting caught out. She will die because of that. And the engage happens. Mumu falling because he is AP and Mumu and lacking all sorts of defense. Blue team not looking so good. Now it's a 4v3 since a Mumu fell. Didn't even get to use anything. Mumu not even getting to use his ultimate, but that will be a dead Soraka as well. Pings from purple team, they could capitalize on this and go for Baron. A nice stun and exhaust. Ezreal might pay for this one. Yes, he is going to. But not before Rumble gets dropped extremely low. Oh. Wow, Rumble surviving with barely any health, having to back himself off. He cannot participate in this fight. That's a very dead Wukong. Lord almighty. And purple team will take Baron here. But at what cost? Amumu's coming in, and he has his ultimate still. This could turn it around. Purple team slays Baron, but they are low enough that Amumu is just tearing them apart, but not quite enough. Oh, Ezreal's ultimate coming through. Oh, a little more to the right, and he'd have nailed Graves. Nicely played on purple team's part, reducing the deficit down to only about 3,000 gold, 44.8 to 41.1. A lot closer now. This game is looking to go on a little bit further. Pings from purple team down on bottom.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Nothing so far, though. I mean, able to commentate. At least Graves is taking his red. There's been purple pings. Purple team is going to try to take down Dragon, but at 34 minutes, Dragon is less useful. I mean, for them, for purple team, yes, it's going to be a great asset because, see, that's going to catch him up 1,000. Now they're about 3,000 behind. They're just making up that deficit. The team fight is incredible for purple team. They have a lot of AoE between Zyra and Graves and Rumble. They have a lot of area of effect damage. Morgana showing that minion what it means to be pinned in place. Pings for purple, though, they are going to go for that top tower. Purple has only downed the bottom turret. Bottom and mid, so they're down a considerable amount of towers, but if they even up that tower gold, that'll actually put them ahead. Purple team is a little ahead in creep score. Oh, they are moving. They're making a move. They are going down the center. And if they try to base race this, blue team will win because they have a lot less that they have to go through. Purple team, all but 2 or 1. Nope, all backing off to try to save this tower. They have to, though. Amumu flashing in and ulting, dealing a large amount of damage. Double Zonias between the two of them. Graves dealing an incredible amount of damage, though. Purple team is going to clean this one up. A triple kill, a quadra kill. A quadra kill for Graves coming down. Ezreal dropped extremely low, so if they could find him, he could get a delayed penna, but it does not look like he will. Purple team is going to capitalize on this. They now have 30 seconds before the majority of the team comes up. They will take one tower. They will take a second tower. Well, they'll probably take this second tower. Ezreal not able to do too much to it. If Graves is able to get a hold of him, he will regret it. That will be a second tower, and they are going to go for the inhibitor. And they will take the inhibitor. Man, that turned around on blue team. Purple team now in the lead, 48,000 to 50,000. Can you believe that swing down almost 6,000 at some point? Or 4,000 rather at some points. And coming back, and now they're up 2,000. It was the Baron, that was the gold, the mass team fights that they won, giving them a good advantage, and the creep score. Ezreal's only at 228, whereas Graves is at 268. So they're really starting to pull this ahead. Even Zyra's coming back. I mean, she now has her second needlessly large rod, which is going to mean she's going into a Zhonya's hourglass, but she's looking good as well. And she's definitely the most far behind out of the purple team. Amumu kind of needs to build himself a little more tanky, though. He doesn't have enough tank to really sit there in a team fight. I mean, I guess that's why he built Zhonya's, is so he could rush in, spin, ult, and Zhonya's, so he can survive some of his cooldowns. But Amumu is almost kind of reliant on getting hit, especially with that tantrum cooldown. Ping's going down for blue team. They want to try to save this, but I don't know if they're going to be able to. This might cause a team fight down here because everyone is here. No. So far, just poking back and forth. They're going to have their AD carry or someone poke that tower, and the tower is going to fall. Blue team backing themselves off, as is wise. The other lanes are not pushing all that much, though. Purple team is pushing towards their middle because they have the downed inhibitor, but as long as they stall blue team here, they will be able to continue pushing. Ping's going for purple team. They are going to back themselves off. Why, though? I'm not 100% sure. They weren't getting poked. They were just fine. And pushing in that tower would have caused them to be able to... it would have forced blue team to take care of mid, which would have brought at least one person out of the fight, causing a 4v5. But I guess not. Baron should be back up fairly soon, within a minute or two. They are setting themselves up because they don't know where they are, and they go in, and Graves getting caught a little bit, but absolutely devastating Morgana. Zyra picking up that kill. Baron is up, but they are not gonna... Are they gonna go for it? No, they're not gonna go for it. They are gonna go for the push. 2 people down for a minute. They can do this. Zyra is down a little bit of health, creating a plant that gets immediately taken down. And Wukong ults in, tearing Zyra apart. Zyra missing her true damage, though. Going too much for the people in their graves. You cannot do that. Still has his Guardian Angel, though. They are going to take down at least one of these inhibitor turrets. 10 seconds on the remaining team to come up. Telling them to back off, though. That is one down inhib turret, rather. Blue team now going to capitalize on this because they know that purple team has to go back and heal. They have lost one person and most of them are half health. They're going to have to try to take Baron. But purple team setting up a very nice gank that turns against them really quickly. I lied. And the Amumu ultimate, if that goes down on the entire team, that is going to be absolutely devastating. And Amumu's grab misses. Whoa, getting themselves out. Everyone under at least 100 to 200 health. That might be a free Baron for blue team. No one really to contest this, though. Zyra's not going to be able to get here fast enough, and Baron Nashor falls to blue team. Blue team backing themselves off, probably to take care of these super minions here that are hanging around in mid lane. Purple decides that dragon is beneficial, though, and they're gonna take that one. So I mean, I guess the team-wide gold is absolutely fantastic, but Baron was definitely the big prize. 56 to 58,000 now. Purple's team still has a fair lead. Not well, it's about 3,000 gold, 2,000 gold. So the lead is okay. At 60,000, 2,000 gold is minimal. Most people have or are starting to get close to full builds. Tark running around with an Oracle is definitely doing some ward cleaning. It's a good idea on his part, but I mean, no one's gonna bother warding Baron for a long time. It got 7 minutes from when it failed. Wait, 7 minutes from when Baron failed to kill anybody. Baron Nashor, the most dangerous thing on this game. Hmm. 1v1, he rules all. Purple team is pushing up though. They are going to try a little bit of a push. Ping's back going for Zyra though. Is somebody going to step on that poor little plant? No, they will not. A little bit stalled out at the moment though. Blue team really trying to just hold them off. They're gaining a lot of damage though. Gaining a lot of creep score. I mean, look at that. Ezreal is now ahead of Graves, 301 to 300 and... Well, okay, he was 301 to 329. The two now very close, whereas Graves, like 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, was up like 40 CS. Nice root. Zyra's plants giving vision when you run them over. Not for very long though, it's only a few seconds. 59 to 61,000. This game is anyone's deal. Almost anybody could come back and take this. Although it is surprising the blue team is not going to do at least some sort of pushing with Baron. Having Baron is a serious advantage. It almost gives you a 6th player on the team. Gives you a massive amount of regeneration. It's really nice to have. But they're not going to push with it. That's a curious thing. Purple team still pushing down, but they're all going to back and probably finish off what builds they're doing. Yeah, Rumble finishing off his Guardian's Angel. That means the purple team now has 2 Guardian Angels on their team. And here they go, starting to make a little bit of a push. Blue team is, though, right at the end of Baron. Baron only has a few seconds left. And Baron has ended. Oh, and Graves gets himself caught, losing half his health. And Mumu ultimate goes down, not doing nearly as much damage as he would have kind of hoped it would do, but Nocturne's falling extremely quickly. Ezreal doing a nasty amount of damage. Nobody is on Ezreal though he is exhausted. Graves also doing a lot of damage. So far, 2 for 3. They're gonna have to be very careful because, oh, she knows where she went. Purple team now has a minute to capitalize on this. And she will get executed. But honestly, losing a kill this late in the game isn't the biggest deal. Losing a player this late in the game, Soraka should have tried to escape that. Because losing a player this late in the game, who cares if you give them the kill? The kill is not the important part. The important part is staying alive. If she was alive, she could try to help keep Ezreal up. But at this point, Ezreal's just going to explode. from Graves' damage as well as Rumble and Tark's stun.
Turret has been destroyed.
Well, Rumble's damage and Tark's stun. And that will be the end of it. And there we go. 21-19. Oh, a nice comeback for Purple Team. Finding themselves behind a lot of the time, coming back. Those Barons and the Dragons and the constant amount of kills brought them out of where they were, and they ended up taking it. Alrighty, folks. My name is Fofox, and this has been another Game of the League. We'll see you guys next time.